Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are here once again at the Poetry Kingdom for another live read. Perhaps I shouldn't do the intro so early. This is always the awkward part, isn't it? Where nobody is quite here yet, and yet I still must continue to fill air. We do have somebody here. That's wonderful. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. People stepping in. Co-host this evening is Lucy Sargent, and we are waiting for her to come in, and then we can get this party started with the rocking and the rolling. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon here in Canada, or in the UK, my co-host is from, and here she is. Here to do, we are about to get this party started. Let's do this thing.
And as if magic, Lulu appears.
Hello, hello. It is so exciting to have you on. This is your first live.
It's my very first Instagram live. I'm so excited.
And I promise I won't bite. I did bite a little bit with Antonio.
I will not promise anything. But I'll try to behave myself, okay? So
all right.
try.
Well, just be warned, if you do bite me, you'll have to deal with Brandy.
Okay. I put on my wolf t-shirt, so I was prepped for the biting.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's do the introduction. We are here with the Poetry Kingdom live read for the week. Natural wonders, nature, lightning, volcanoes, weird rocks, the eye of the Sahara, weird geological formations, all of that great, wonderful stuff. And
we've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And why don't you, the luminous Lulu, Lucy Sargent of the Poetry Kingdom, give the fine people at home a little bit of an introduction.
What an introduction you've already given to all of us already, Patrick. An introduction for myself. Well, hopefully everybody who's watching already knows about Lulu. I'm pretty in your face in the Poetry Kingdom. I'm always there, annoying everybody, giving my lovely advice and nice invitations to come and write with me. And I'm very, very happy to be here. It's taken a long time of persuasion from you guys, especially Brandy, to try and get me here, but
well,
hopefully this is the start of many more now.
No, absolutely. This is awesome.
Well, we'll see how it goes. If I embarrass myself too much, this might be the one and only Lulu performance, so I'm not promising anything.
I'm quite confident that it'll be great. And no, you simply cannot deny Brandy.
I cannot. No, I've tried to put her off for many months now, but she's a immovable force, and so I'm finally here. I'm here, Brandy. Look, it's video evidence. It's real. It's really me.
It's really happening.
It's really me. I can see you're watching, Chris, as well, and it is real. So believe it.
This is not an ethereal fever dream.
No, it is real. I am real, kind of.
Perhaps, unless either you or me or somebody watching at home is trapped in the Matrix, and this is all a simulation. We might all be, yes.
In one way or another.
That's right, yeah. The
I mean, we've created
simulation.
our own matrix in TPK now, haven't we? So
Yeah, that
it's a
is
kind
true.
of microcosm all of itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a contained universe, which we
Yeah,
have created our own vibe.
a whole universe of awesome. It needs its own place.
Majestic. And the universe is expanding here on
Yes, it
Instagram
is.
and on YouTube and all over the place. Look out, we're coming for you.
We're
Next, we
coming
will
through
be invading your homes.
in a very non-threatening way, of course.
Oh,
We're just
yes.
coming
Yeah.
through poetically.
Yeah. And if if you have a beer in the fridge, well, that would be nice. I would take that.
I'm drinking cider, but I'm drinking it from a llama mug because it gives it that kind of classy British feel.
Ah, yes.
See what I
I
did
can
there?
you can keep it a secret and say that it's tea.
Nobody really knows that it's alcohol unless I just tell everybody on Instagram, of course, like that. It just looks like a lovely cup of tea,
There
of
you go.
course.
Yeah. Very
Thank
sophisticated. Pinkies up.
you.
All right. Would you like to get us started with our first piece?
I really would. We've got a lovely list of poems here today. We've got many. I was very pleased to see from the um, beautiful Joyce West because she is one of our most prolific and amazing writers in the poetry kingdom, and she's been really on the ball with these prompts this week. So let's start off with one by Joyce, I think. Let me have a look here. This one is called The Eye of the Sahara. The eye of the Sahara has watched unblinkingly for centuries and more the moving tide of land and humanity. It knows the answer to the riddle of what came first, the chicken or the egg, the east or the west, for it has seen it all. Beneath the burning heat of the Saharan day, then the cold moonlit night, it stares inscrutably. Its retina of blue hides a wealth of geology, older than the oldest man. Who knows what secrets it may hold, of visitors from other worlds, seen from space? Is it a beacon, with the ability in a blink to call home the creators of our race, who gaze benevolently until the day their eye says it has had enough of mankind's inhumanity? There was a lot of depth in that one there.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
great poem. Thank you, Joyce.
Joyce, Joyce writes, I think she pretty much writes almost every single daily prompt. That is often the
I've
case.
never seen her miss a prompt. I really haven't seen her miss it.
It's
She's got every
crazy.
gold star from the Poetry Kingdom.
Yeah, she absolutely is. She is a rock star, and
She
at
really
that age,
is.
if I could be like that at her age, I would be very happy.
She's a role model to us all. She really is.
She absolutely is.
And
And
I
a lot,
really like, we'll see in some of the other poems that are coming a bit later on, she likes to put a cheeky little twist in sometimes.
she always brings in some really fresh and
Yes,
unexpected
she
twists
does.
and turns.
Yep, she's got a great modern take on a lot of the prompts that you just really wouldn't expect.
All right, and I have another piece from Joyce West. This one is called The Snake. And let me zoom in because my eyes are terrible. The asp in my grasp is a torturous reminder that skin may be nice, but sin has a price. The venom hidden within may be quickly ejected, but the consequences last so much longer than the bite of the snake that so hypnotically breached my defenses before slithering away. I look for new prey.
Ooh, I like the metaphor she's got running through that one.
Yeah, she definitely went for a
She,
different perspective on that.
she did, yeah. Yeah. Could be could read a lot of different meanings into that one there. Great poem, Joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a reference to sin, and as Joyce would say, she loves to spend a lot of time in the sin bin.
Yeah, she does. I think the next one we've got is by another of our mod team and also a very prolific writer who's great at all the prompts, Joanne Lee.
Oh, yes.
I'm a really big fan of Joanne, not just her work, but Joanne as a person because she is a fantastic lady.
She really is.
We're really lucky to have her on the TPK team. Thank you for
And
everything you do, Joanne.
and as a side note, as a little bit of a preemptive promotion, on Wednesday, Joanne will be coming on to do an interview talking about her poetry and her most recent book.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, here's a beautiful poem from Joanne here. Broken mould in verdant set, few shall conquer thy brow, testing patience, evoking nations, if only your stoic told how. Stumbling storms may rip and rattle thorns, digging in the ribs of solid stance. Ne'er to move or bend, kiss the sky as only friend, shake volcanic lust, your only chance. What's inside deep in your mountain, secrets stored in dark caves? Do you feel the pointed steel stab in stealth to seek reveal? In conquest, are you everybody's slave? Should we seek the crest, the feeling? Are you smaller than somehow? Thus discarded as an achievement scaled spent? Are you there to heed the call, to climb and thus we fall? Are you just a rather large encouragement? That's a beautiful poem about mountains. Thank you, Joanne.
Absolutely stunning, gorgeous wordplay, and also like the emotional undertones are really stirring.
And her actual poetic skill is outstanding. And as I've seen Joanne's work over the last months build up, her vocabulary and just her grasp of being able to interplay the words, her internal rhyme is just outstanding. I love reading her work because it just dances all the way through to the end of the piece. Just beautiful poetry.
Yeah, she is an amazing talent, wonderful person, just and fun, and just all around the whole package.
Thank you, Joanne. Outstanding.
All right, and speaking of Joanne, we have another one. Oh, my darling, cast from times gone by, sunken treasure of my heart, long have I searched the contour of your face, of feeling where shall I start? Humble are our graces, our fickle sandy places, that time should steal a moment of us cruel. Serenity appeals, but the silence just reveals ignorance of matter, names us fools. Now I peer celestial, my final fondest love, the meteor that shattered and left me alone. Though we float in lust of time's sinking, deep in mortal grime, shall we home eternally in blood and bone, and I shall know you last, all seeing in fatal fast, for what can never mean as much as thee, out of space or out of time doth the soak of you sublime trickle tantric thought of endless eternity.
Beautiful alliteration at the end there. On point.
That is brilliant. So incredibly, um, it's an incredibly romantic tribute, and I am all about that shit right now.
I think we're both riding the love train high right now, Patrick.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know.
Very, very strange since I used to be such a, well, I still am a dark creature, but far more romantic dark creature at any rate.
There's a lot of love to be found in the dark.
Yeah, absolutely.
There really is. That's maybe where we find the true nature of love, I think.
Mm, very true.
Hmm. Right. Who have we got next? I think we got another lovely one from the wonderful Joyce.
Yes, we do.
Okay. This one's titled Mountains. There ain't no mountain higher than where I forever rest. As a babe I climbed orange boxes, the walls, a fearless lad. I started on the Munros from Ben Nevis to Ben Vane. I got looks of disdain from my pub crawl mates, but better than any alcohol, that hormonal rush and thrill, standing on the peak alone, in awe of nature's majesty. As I matured, I inspired to challenges higher and higher, until the big one called me. Well prepared with a team, we started off optimistically. No romance to this climb, as frozen human detritus paved our way. Then, near the top, an avalanche took us out, and 5 of us fought to survive. 4 succeeded, but I did not. I am left to rest in a frozen grave, so near, yet so far from that mountain peak. Do I regret the mounting mania that drove me to my death? Never, for I have seen the beauty of the land from pinnacles so high that I touch the sky. That's very poignant.
So emotively powerful, great narrative and storytelling. And when I first read that, I was like, I have no idea where this piece is going to end up. I mean, it starts off with kind of an almost romantic, sensual tinge
Like
to
a
it.
nostalgic feel of looking back over time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as the story progresses, touching on themes of striving, of struggling, and mortality, it's so much depth to it.
And then the tragedy kicks in and takes your breath away, but then comes back and carries you home with the hope.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
Absolute wonderful poetry.
fantastic, transcendent at the end, which is always wonderful. All right, this piece is by Sean May, who is a moderator over at the Poetry Kingdom, and this is called Flash of. 10 million volts in your bolt. It's all your fault. When your pent-up anger you can't hold no longer, but your pressurized vault. 10,000 amps in your stamp, straight down, slam, cracking your whip, the night sky you rip, lighting up like a lamp. 10 billion watts in your shot, no God could stop, like a kid with a gun firing off just for fun, brandishing all that you got. You're so frightening. Flash of.
Lightning. Wow. There's some epic rhyme in there, Sean. That's amazing.
He's got some really, really awesome, tight rhythm, which helps to like build the tension of the piece, and it's super, super intense. I can't like maybe he could tell me, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But I almost feel like there's some like maybe some musical references in there. Um, I don't know, maybe Metallica Ride the Lightning, maybe AC/DC, maybe something like that. I'm just
Because
guessing.
it's got a different beat. It's got a definite beat all the way through it,
Yeah,
almost like a
absolutely.
chant, like a lightning chant, like a calling down the thunder and the lightning.
It's a perfect rhythm for that.
Outstanding. Okay, we've got another one from the lovely Joanne next. I think this is also on the lightning theme, this one. Let's have a look. Keep it simple, light the spark. Start with a rumbling gesture, explode the light, show the way for the arc. In the midst of the storm, come to test you, cast adrift in weary seas, or clinging in hope to a vessel. Let the bolt from the blue invigorate you, rise to embezzle the devil. If gods in displease can in fingertip ease erase with a blast heaven sent, be struck, come undone, show the wild side it's won, for lightning quick gone is truly meant. There was one line there that was just, it just jumped out to me. Rise to embezzle the devil. I just love that. It's
Yeah,
absolutely outstanding.
yeah, that line was absolutely definitely the one that stuck out to me as well. Um,
Yeah.
the the piece has this great and perfect kind of kinetic energy to it, and it doesn't matter like what she writes about. She has a definitive voice, which has kind of an almost classical vibe.
I was
Maybe
just
not
going
in
to
the,
say she's really classical in her style,
yeah, absolutely. It's
but
almost
with
got
that
like,
perfect modern twist that it's not dated.
yeah, she's got like this subtle Shakespearean vibe without like, getting into the nitty gritty of that, that type of language.
She's got the heart of a natural poet and it just comes out in everything she writes.
She really does. She is blazingly talented. I'm always super
I'm a big
impressed.
fan of Joanne.
We're big
This is our
fans.
first meeting of the Joanne fan club.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna sit here and swoon over Joanne. That's what we're doing now.
I'm very happy to do that.
The next piece is by a fellow admin with the Poetry Kingdom, Janine Pike, and is called Detonation. Lightning strikes instantaneously within my heart, cascading light, showering 1,000 shards, shining so bright, advancing all remnants charred, a gruesome sight, delicate beauty marred. Despite my plight, I'm discarded, irrevocably scarred.
That was wonderful. I liked it how the first part of each line took one rhyme all the way through and then the concluding rhyme of every line. So it's almost like it's two poems written in one.
Yeah, the rhyming structure is really fantastic, and I
Really
absolutely
clever.
love the how the lightning is like, a metaphor for deeper personal and emotive themes.
It seems to have brought out a lot of that because I think for many people the natural world around them is synonymous to so many feelings that they have within themselves and it's really great imagery that you can use in representation of things that maybe you don't have words for yourself, and so you can mirror what you see going on around you with the internal struggle that's going on within.
Yeah, it's and because of the the beauty of it and the grandeur of it and the power of it, it makes for an incredible conceptual abstraction that you can kind of use to veil yourself in in behind. And that's the thing about poetry, I think, which kind of separates itself from prose, is that sense of like just kind of morphing and shifting reality in unique ways.
And I think as well, the metaphor of the natural world around us is a universal link that is something that because I know a lot of poetry, it's a very individual thing, and sometimes images that we use can be very personal to us, and it's hard to convey the message that you're trying to give because people don't have the same experience or the same attachment to words and language that is individual to you, whereas natural metaphor is something that we all see all around us. It's like a universal language and logo that means the same thing to so many people.
Absolutely. And I think nature also just in itself has a submergent quality to it, that there's something deeper there, and we all feel that. And so it's a perfect way to express the deeper feelings within yourself as well.
It really is. I'm just going to put a little bit of light back on me now so you can actually see me because it's becoming nighttime here in England now. So I know I did say we find a lot of wonderful things in the dark, but I think maybe people would actually like to see me while I'm reading. So hopefully that's a bit better now. I can just see the gloom descending around me. I'll try and shine my own inner light a little brighter. Okay, we've got another lovely one from Joyce again here. It's about a stone forest. I was really intrigued by this picture when I saw it when Josh posted it up in the group, but it really is a natural phenomenon. It's a whole forest landscape created completely out of stone. So we'll see what Joyce has written about this here. The stone forest. Rocks of ages standing proud, thrusting upward to the sky. No impermanency in the eye of whatever voltaic trick, played by some divine architect, caused this ancient eruption to manifest itself haphazardly. Was it fed and watered by God's almighty hand, or an accidental conjunction of geological experimentation combined with heat and cold that cooked up some rocks which now blow the minds of us awestruck mortals? It really did. It really did blow my mind. I've never seen anything like that until it was posted up in the group. That's a really good take on the picture, Joyce.
Yeah, it's a fantastic, really unique phenomenon, a really beautiful take on it poetically. I love the language. That Voltic line especially was especially brilliant. All right, our next piece is by Jamie Santomasso. The Italian in me just loves that name.
I feel like we should give her a drum roll after that introduction.
Jamie Santomasso, hey! And I'm going to take this Italian moment just to dig in a little bit at Italy winning the Euros. Sorry to all of our English fans, okay?
I'm sorry, not sorry, because I was expecting that if England won, there would be a whole night of shouting, cheering, fireworks, and because we're in the middle of a heat wave here, similar to what you're dealing with over there. So everybody has their windows open, everybody's outside in their garden, and as soon as England got the football, silence just descended over the whole world. And I just smiled and went straight to sleep. It was outstanding. So sorry, any England fans that are there, but you got to get your sleep where you can.
Absolutely. All right. Jimmy. With summer's death, autumn is born. New life is found in golden hues. With fall is found in nature's muse. With summer's death, autumn is born. As winds turn crisp, August mourns. As the new sun rises over September dews, with summer's death, autumn is born. New life is found in golden hues.
The repetition is wonderful.
I absolutely love that. Really, really lovely, beautiful piece. And I love the sense of the cyclical nature of natureception. And and
The
just
nature within the nature.
that's right. And yeah, I'm a sucker for fall and Halloween and all that stuff, so absolutely love that.
It's a beautiful time of year. I could write about the colours of the autumn leaves for an infinite amount of time. I have done, in fact. And I'm really looking forward to autumn kicking in as soon as possible, because the heat is really not a fun place to be right now.
No, I do not like it. I am a Canadian frost hobbit. I do not do well in the heat. It makes me angry.
Yeah, you're a snow boy at heart, aren't you, Patrick?
I
You really are. We've got a really nice poem up next. It's actually from one of our not so regulars here. It's by a poet called Scorpion Eyes, and this is titled Sun Goddess. Once upon a time, immersed in darkness, she was born out of her own raging fire. She was both the creator and the creation, a self-made star. She woke up from her dark slumber, adorned herself in radiant flames, exuding the very essence that burnt her soul. She slow danced, setting herself ablaze. Roaming the broadways of the universe, unapologetic her stride, scattering stardust along her trail, as fiery as the most fearsome fire. Reaching out to the distant subjects, she cast her magical spell of light. In her world, there was no day, there was no night. All she knew was her own blessed light. It was very empowering.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. The sense of like immolation, but gaining power from that and not being destroyed by that was really phenomenal.
Really lovely to read.
And totally, completely unique, different take on the wonders of nature prompt, but absolutely fantastic.
Again, the metaphor of our internal lives and how they can be reflected in the wider world around us.
Yeah, absolutely. And
really great poem. Thank you.
If I may interject for one moment, Brandy, you are my sun goddess, and I fucking worship you and love you.
I think we all worship Brandy a little bit, Patrick. It's not just you. I love you too, Brandy.
Narrow's eyes.
We get to read your work next as well. Yep. I've been practicing these.
And this one has some very, very complex words, and I'm going to try my best not to screw it up.
I did have to Google speak some words in Brandy's poems, so
yeah,
I think that's a high five. And I can't wait to see you read this one, Patrick.
Oh, the pressure is on.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. This is for the lightning prompt. Fulminate. Okay, I'm already screwing it up already. The second word is already.
I practiced this one, Patrick. Ignominy.
Ignos. Thank you. All right.
I had to Google speak it. That's straight from Google. I hope Karen didn't let us down.
Fulminate. Ignominy. Anima. Fulminate. Ignominy. Animadversions. Anomaly. Deviant. Diverging. Flux. Run for the trees and test your luck. I am sorry,
You're
Brandy.
Patrick. That's how much you love Brandy, that you would try so hard to get that right for her. Oh, my heart. Mm.
The complex wordplay, like holy fuck. Like I am a walking, talking thesaurus, but um animadversions was one that I had to look up because that was one that I'd never heard of,
I
and
love that. I love that so much.
to be able to stump me on that is very impressive.
She draws you in with this complex language and then grabs you and then laughs and throws you back out again. Goodbye. I love it so much.
Yeah, her
There's so much power. Even in a 4-line poem, it punches you straight in the face. It's outstanding.
yeah, absolutely. And that last line too, the intensity of it and the how it's completely different from the rest of it, which makes it so striking and makes it so stand out. And it grabs you by the lapels and just shakes you.
It's like a direct command straight to you. The rest is the poetry, and then it just comes in with that voice and just says, "Now you listen to this bit."
Yes, she is
Ah,
indeed powerful.
she's outstanding.
She is.
Now we've got a really another great one from Brandy. I'm very happy I get to read this. It's a lightning tribute to Emperor Julian the Apostate. Excommunicate the apostate, honoured genius of Julian, hybristic perversions, miasmatic conversions. No, give me Orphic King. Intergalactic thunderbolts, streaming static schematic revolt, streaking, striking, screaming lightning. Bleed me. The Dionysian dies in revelry, reborn in fire flashing rays. I am the start and end of days, and you're all goddamn liars.
Once again,
Pure power, power. Oh,
that last fucking line, that is a punch to the throat. So
it
powerful,
is.
so striking. And I'm a sucker for Roman history, so all of that era is like totally fascinating.
And Brandy just captures it so well.
She does, she does. She is fucking brilliant, spectacular. Love that girl.
Damn right.
All right, enough swoony McSwoonerson.
We'll come back to that with our last poem later. Just for a final swoon.
The final swoon. The return of the swoon.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's always time for one more swoon.
This is by Joyce West. This is for the lightning prompt. At the moment of creation, was it eerily quiet, or did the demons of evolution mix the firework display intended for the event? Pyrotechnical perversion, the key to mayhem, a lightning strike, intending to enlighten. So instead of 5 minutes of controlled whiz-bangs, the forces of nature, taking over, awoke, confused, somewhat angered, effing and blinding at the demons, thereby creating an electrical storm of such proportions, north and south poles were inverted, and as fork lightning struck, land masses formed where none should have been. Rumbles of thunder and million-watt flashes hit the universe unaware. The final strike was anatomical, as lightning revealed two shivering naked beings, and thus mankind was created by demonic interference in the well-laid plans of evolution.
Wow. That's a really that's a really interesting take on a lightning prompt. She's woven in the actual history of creation.
It's super, super fascinating. I love the have you have the idea of the spark in the ooze, in terms of the scientific angle, and then it has like a really cool spiritual angle with the divine and the demonic, and I love the imagery of the two naked beings born from it. That's fantastic.
Really outstanding imagery. Let me just try and get more light in here, Patrick. There we go. Maybe you can see me better now. It's
Yes.
real nighttime here. There we go. I didn't prep for this. Sorry about that. Okay. Right, I think we've moved on to the waterfall prompt now.
Yes.
We've got a poem here by Debbie Kluwer. Your power is immense. Should Neptune leave his salty depths with intent to meet his rival, a water world of strength would meet and greet him with a foamy smile. For this is your domain, and rain falls, sacrificing droplets at your water altar. You cascade to the depths below, your voice a crescendo of magnificent nature. Wonderful. I really like the use of subtle rhyme.
Yeah. Very.
Because maybe when you read it as text, you maybe don't catch that, but to hear it spoken aloud, you can actually hear the musicality that runs through it, but only when you actually speak the words aloud, because it's not an obvious rhyme scheme there, yet it does still have that rhythm and rhyme that runs through it.
Yeah, I love that. It's very sophisticated. It has a lot of those slant half rhymes and the little touches of alliteration, and I love it when that comes through. And spoken word really is like a whole different experience, a whole different level of experiencing the poetry than you get just with the written word.
It puts the life right into it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And this is by Sean May, Waterfalls. Waterfalls, not over the hills nor the rivulets to fill, no stream full of dreams, yet it glistens and gleams as it winds its way downs, it cleanses and cleans. Waterfalls, not down the mountain, no inverted fountain, no rapids nor floods, yet it flows like it should, as it runs its way down, feels as wet as it could. Waterfalls, not from the clouds, no droplets to drown, no rain from the skies, yet it pours from my eyes as it burns its way down, salty tears that I cry in waterfalls.
Oh, there's so much emotion.
I love the once again using nature as a metaphor for deeper emotive meaning. So incredibly heartbreaking and emotively haunting. Really beautiful. I love the rhythm and rhyme in it.
I really do. Sean is great at that.
He is masterful with that.
Yeah, he's really good at the word dance, I call it. Where when you read it, it's almost like the waltz steps in your head. Okay, we have another lovely poem from Debbie here. I think this is about the iceberg prompt now. You stand cool and aloof, ice maiden, moving slowly, breaking with emotion, crying ice tears into the ocean. Many a flashbulb has captured your beauty, many a sailor lost, doing his duty, kissed by your cool lips of harsh intent. Your anger you vent on ships every now and then. Ice maiden, your captivating beauty never ends. That was really nicely done.
I love the imagery of that, and I'm just kind of a sucker for any kind of ship metaphor or shipwrecks or anything like that. It's so powerful and haunting.
Um, there's so much uh, there's so much story and history wrapped up in the mythology of the ocean, and I like the personification of naming the iceberg actually as an ice maiden, um, and placing the intention in the iceberg is actually carrying out some kind of retribution against the ships that are sailing within the sea.
Yeah,
Wonderful storytelling.
fantastic. And now we return to the swoon. Another piece by Brandy Elaine. This is the nature prompt, Mount Etna tribute to Vulcan. The confluence of influencing catastrophic fire, consuming and conflation inspire cataclysmic ire, confuse and diffuse while refusing futile use. I never lose. You're not going anywhere in my shoes. Lit and ignited the fury of indicted, incited, uninvited restitution, undivided, incinerate. I am the god of hate, eruption of the indisputed, discipleship unrefuted, convoluted, convict, saint is all I ain't.
That deserves a round of applause, seriously. That's my favourite one of the three. Outstanding and well read, Patrick.
That is straight, absolutely straight fucking fire. And the rhyme and the alliteration, like the lit and ignited and fury of indicted, incited, uninvited. Ah, that is so absolutely.
I just kept reading it through over and over again. The first time I read that, I read it through once and I just thought, there's so much magic in that. I wanted to try and learn it as some sort of chant. So when I need some sort of uplift or some empowerment, I'm just going to chant Brandy's words over and over again. Saint is all I ain't.
Yeah.
She's fire.
She is. I love her spirit. She has this credible, intense energy about her words.
She really does. Oh, I'm blown away. I need to take a minute just to recover from that one. Okay, we've got another beautiful one from Joyce here. This is on the snowflake prompt. It's called Fractals. I sit and watch the falling snow as icy fingers grip me. The fractal nature of the falling snowflake and the fractal network of my broken heart. reflect the impermanency of each other's structure, each broken cell a part of the token picture. Kaleidoscopic beauty, hoping for stability, but both denied it by their very nature. The randomness of love, like snowflakes, cannot be preordained or its life guaranteed. My heart is shattered into a myriad of pieces, fractured organic fractals, cells of red and white, mingling at microscopic level, commiserating with each other that their beauty was as ephemeral as any performance art. The nature of their structure, to be viewed fleetingly, as their impermanency, saw fractals melt and disintegrate. Identical reformation, never an option. Sacred their geometry, but sadly not their survival. That's very heartbreaking and poignant, Joyce.
Yeah, that is absolutely stunning. The
Mhm.
language is beautiful and has an incredible flow, and the sense of like the romantic nature of it and the relational and interconnected nature of it is really stirring and emotively beautiful and powerful. Fantastic. That's definitely one of my favorites from
And such a clever comparison. The way that a snowflake, that every single one is individual in its pattern, just as every love and interconnection and relationship is individual. And yet, you can never guarantee how long anything will be here for, but it doesn't diminish in any way from the beauty of it when it does exist. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful poetry.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and now I believe I have the last piece, and fitting that we should end on Joyce. And this is for the waterfall prompt. The mewling babe, the underground spring, conceived deep in the hills, forces itself out through a rocky birth canal to stare in wonder and pure innocence at the route ahead. Gathering its strength, it pushes ahead, unaware of the surge of nature's equivalency to the teen hormonal years as tributary mates gather, jostling, pushing for male supremacy in a downhill rush, water spurting, screaming in orgasmic pulses, ignoring danger, foaming at the mouth, in hedonistic ecstasy, ignorant of what comes next as waters inevitably calm, slowly but surely meandering to the finality of reabsorption into the universal waters of comparative tranquility.
Wow. To use the metaphor of a waterfall to actually represent the whole transition of life from birth to death. That's some clever metaphor there.
That was an absolutely epic. It's like a whole life's journey brought down into one piece with that one singular metaphor. It's really super deep and super profound and very impressive piece of work.
The distillation of a waterfall and the distillation of life into the drops of water. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I would
always.
love to take a little glance into Joyce's mind, because I think her poetry really just scratches the surface of what she has going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. She is a fascinating, multifaceted woman for sure.
And she never ever fails to rise to the challenge.
No, she doesn't. And
Not ever.
she can write about anything, and she can write in so many different styles and from so many different perspectives. She can be beautiful, she can be transcendent, she can be cheeky as fuck.
Hilarious.
Just absolutely brilliant.
Because we throw some quite obscure prompts out into TPK sometimes, don't we? You know,
Yeah,
in a good
absolutely.
way, because it is good to challenge people and to bring to people's attention things that they might not have considered writing about before. And I love it because when I see the prompts go out for something and I think, oh, that's I've never known anything about that before. I'm going to go and throw it through Google searches in and see what I can find out. And literally within the hour, there's Joyce, and she's just written a complete piece all about it, and like she puts us all to shame.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some of them I'd never heard of. I'd never heard of the Eye of the Sahara before, and there's some phenomenally beautiful pieces written around that.
I feel very, very lucky to have been allowed to have read the work here today. So thank you everybody for submitting your work because it has been an absolute pleasure.
Awesome, top drawer poetry as always, and I hope that this has been a good experience for your first live, and that you will hint 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 come back and do this again sometime.
Well, I hopefully have not embarrassed myself in any way too badly. So hopefully you will have me back again, Patrick.
We will absolutely 100% have you back on.
I'd like it as well if we do that to maybe we throw in a piece written by each of us and I'll read your one and you can read my one because I think that your work is a very challenging style of poetry to read out loud, as people will see in the soon to be uploaded video of me reading everybody's favourite poems. Long
Oh,
awaited. I do apologise for the house move that has put everything a little bit slower on hold. Oh, sorry, I still got lighting problems here. But yes, yours is a wonderful style of poetry to be able to read and an absolute gift. So maybe we can make that happen. And
yeah.
I'll write something extra special for you, some really nice high vocab um, and some really confusing pronunciation because that's always fun.
Absolutely. And
It's always good for the challenge.
yeah, definitely. And some made up words that because
There's always the portmanteau words because that is how me and you roll.
that's for sure. Absolutely.
I do apologise. It's come to a very good closing time for us, but I have small people here who are calling me away to try and get them settled in their bed now. So the poetry has to say goodbye as the parenting calls, I'm afraid. But it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me,
Thank you
and
so, so much for doing this.
and I do feel very reassured that actually nothing too terrible and scary will happen to me by being in a live video. So thank you for your reassurance and your support for the whole thing, Patrick, and for your constant encouragement, Brandy. We call it encouragement.
Absolutely. Bye, Lucy.
Thank
Have
you
a
very
great
much,
one.
everyone in TPK. It's been an absolute pleasure reading your work, and I'll be back again soon.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here at the Poetry Kingdom for our weekly live read. We'll be back next week for another one. Okay, everybody, have a great day, evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Ciao.